Good morning. Welcome to our E3 weekly market report. I'm Pat McClatchy. We will look at the export figures that are just coming out. This is the July the 2nd edition of our report. The exports have just started coming out. Let's see. We also have some economic data that's starting to come into the market. The number for cotton is 80,500 bales. That's a good number for cotton. We also are showing new crop 51,600. The reaction in cotton is unchanged. We're down 39 at the moment. Next, going to soybeans, a negative number, a negative 10,500. So that's definitely not good for the market. We've got new crop 127,500. Looking at that market, the reaction there, soybeans were down 3, now they're down about 4. So just starting to react. Corn number, a good number, 594,300 for old crop, new crop 238,900. The reaction in corn so far, we're showing corn was unchanged at the time. Now it's up about a half cent. Just starting to react. Wheat 363,900, and that number, looking at the wheat market was down 8. It's still down 8 on the day. Looking at the breakdown and going through this, starting with cotton, the cotton number 80,500, that's up 33% from the previous week and 22% from the 4-week average. Vietnam took 44,400. Indonesia took 10,700. Turkey took 9,600 bales. Looking at other numbers here for cotton, new crop 51,600, and Bangladesh took 16,000, Turkey took 13,500, Mexico took 12,700. Moving on to soybeans, negative number, net sales reductions of 10,300. That's noticeably down from the previous week and the 4-week average. Taiwan took 66,500. Indonesia took 61,100. Japan took 30,000. Unknown destination cancellations of over 155,700. And also China canceled 65,000. So not good for the bean market. Breaking down corn, the number of 594,300, that's up 20% from the previous week and up 14% over the 4-week average. Japan took 162,500. Mexico took 157,700. And we've got Egypt taking 109,000. The wheat, 363,900. Japan took 87,400. The Philippines took 63,700. And Nigeria took 47,500. Looking again at the reaction of the market, we have cotton firming up some. Right now, cotton's still down, but it's down 24. Soybeans down 4. Corn up a quarter, and wheat down 7. Looking at the total reactions from yesterday's close, just to see what the market's done overnight, the December cotton at 67.31 has been about 50 lower at one point and about 15 higher than this. The November soybeans down 4 at 10.25.5. That market's been 3 cents lower, and it's been 8 cents higher than this. Looking at December corn, right now up a quarter at 4.32. It's been about 4 cents lower and about 3 cents higher overnight. Wheat down 7 at 581.5. It's been 4.5 cents lower. It's been 11 cents higher. Looking over at the financials and the outside markets, the dollar is down 39 right now. We had some economic releases that came out, employment figures, I believe, came out. We'll look at that in just a second. And also, the crude oil is up 21 cents a barrel. Gold and silver down. Gold down 7, silver down just marginally, and the S&P is up 5.8. So that's what we've got for the reports. Just wanting to look at the week, at what's happened this week. We've got crop conditions on Monday that came out, showed pretty much what you would think. The markets are pretty much in now, pretty much planted. Good to excellent category in cotton was unchanged from the previous week at 53%. Also, Texas was unchanged in the good to excellent category at 50%. Setting bowls at 5% versus the normal at 8%. And looking at soybeans, the good to excellent category was the crop was down slightly. It was 63% good to excellent versus previous week of 65%. Corn was 68% good to excellent versus the previous week at 71%. Looking at the big numbers for the week, we had on Tuesday prospective plantings and also grain stocks, major reactions in these markets, and we'll go over what happened. The cotton acreage number, expectations were for 8.8 to 9.4, with most people thinking closer to 9.4. That number came out at 8.998. Soybean acreage came out at 85.139. They had thought 85.19, so close. The corn report, they had thought it would be 89.17. I'm sorry, they thought it would be 89.20. It came out at 88.897. And looking at quarterly stocks, and this is where the surprises were for soybeans, expectations for 674 million bushels. It actually was 624 million bushels. Looking at the corn, expectations there were for 4.512 billion bushels. It came out at 4.447. Big surprise. Wheat, expectation was for 713. It came out at 723. That actually was a little bit negative. What happened to these markets? At 11 o'clock when these reports came out, for the rest of the day, which the close at 1:15, we saw from that point, 11 o'clock, soybeans rallied 57 cents. We had corn rally 30.25 cents. We had wheat rally 38.25 cents. And cotton rallied 138 points, all off the reaction from this report that came out at 11 o'clock. The next day, yesterday, the markets were all down, and today we're mostly down. So the question is, was that the top of the market? Certainly it was an opportunity to be pricing some crops for farmers. Let's look in the last 2.5 weeks at what's happened in these various markets that we follow, just to see how big a rally we had, and also kind of look at what happened. Cotton had a total rally over 2.5 weeks of 484 points. Soybeans had a total rally of $1.44.25 cents. Corn had a total rally of 73.5 cents, and wheat had a total rally of 29.25 cents. Many people ask what happened. How in the last 2.5 weeks could we go from so bearish to bullish? Well, what is usually the case, and it was the case here, throughout this entire rally, it was not one event. It's a series of events. It started out, and I think, and this would be true of most of these markets, the markets were oversold, and it got to the point where there was short covering. Then we reached a point where there was enough moisture coming in. It caused some nervousness. That caused more short covering from the funds. And then that continued to snowball until we had Tuesday's reports, and then the market just exploded off of that. So normally when markets move, it's not one thing, it's a series of things. I think that was the case here. That's really it for our report on the day. Thanks for joining us for the E3 Weekly Market Report. We'll remind you this afternoon, right after the close, we'll have our afternoon or closing update. We will not be open tomorrow. We're looking at a 3-day weekend for the market, so join us again next week for the Ag Market Network. Thank you.